Hi, I'm Basil BK Knight, and I've been using Anchor for my podcast for about a month now, and the experience has been phenomenal and easy. There's so many options to choose from. You have the opportunity to get your message across. You'll love it. And the best part about it is they'll share your podcast on other platforms so you won't have to. Try Anchor today and enjoy the experience. I promise you, you'll love it. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Hi, I'm your host, Basil BK Knight, and I want to welcome you to the Truth According to Who podcast, Uncensored. Today's episode, which is our first episode, so if you're listening, I want to say thank you. It's about valuing yourself. See, when you value yourself, you take responsibility and ownership in your life. We value more people than we value ourselves. But you have the ability to change that. The question is, do you love yourself enough to value yourself? See, do you want to invest in yourself? That's where the value comes in at. The higher you value yourself, the less tolerance you have for bullshit. Let's be honest. You have to free yourself of things and people who devalue you. Now, let's look at the meaning of value. The regard of something that is held to deserve the importance of. One's judgment of what is important in life. Now the question is, what do you value more? Materialistical things or people? The reason why a lot of relationships don't last long these days is because back in the day, people valued people first, then the things that they had to offer second. Now the world has turned around. People value what you have to offer them, then the person last. See, materialistic things only hold a certain amount of value. That's it. When you love yourself more, you will see the value in yourself that you don't have to accept anything from other people. How you treat yourself does attract people who treat you the same way. This is the reason why toxic relationships last so long. And you come from a family of toxic people. So when you meet another toxic person, you're thinking that's how life is supposed to be. No, it's not. You have to free yourself from those generational curses also. And most people will accept people for who they are because that's the value that you're doing to yourself. You don't have to accept these things. See, when will you take the power back and value yourself? Most people will choose the worst of a person. You see it, you ignore all the red flags, but you accept it. And the reason why? Because the value that you have for yourself is less than what you're supposed to have. You will accept people how they talk to you, they cheat on you. And then you will accept just the physical from people. You will look at a woman or a man and say, that's a beautiful person, I want them. But what more do they have to offer? When you get to know them and you find out they have nothing to offer, you're still fixated on the physical. That's because of how you valued yourself. Then you continue to stay in a relationship for a very, very long time. And you're finding out this person really has nothing to offer, but you knew that in the beginning. Whose fault is that? That's yours. Then when it comes to healing, you need to heal. That's nobody's job but yours. If you need to seek help, go seek it. Most people will find somebody else to help them heal. And by the time you're helping them heal, you need healing. And that's because of how you value yourself. You can't fix people that has to fix themselves. There will always be the healer and the person that needs to be healed. That's the traction that most people are going through nowadays. You're always finding out somebody who has less than and the other person has more than. And before you know it, you're feeling drained, disappointed. You're feeling fear of you can't find anything else. And that's the lack of value you have for yourself. But when you surrender to the thought of change and become happier, value yourself more, to see your life being more successful, you have the power to do that. And people will actually get mad at you for change. But remember, these are the wrong people in the first place, because they can't benefit off of the change. They benefit off of the old you. Like, for example, when you go out to the clubs and most people love to drink and don't have money to get in or let's drink, they're going to benefit off you because guess what? You have that money. Or people who are not sociable, but you are. Then when they go to the club and you meet people, they just slide right on in. They value what you bring to the table, not you. When will you invest in you like you invest in everything materialistically? And let's be honest, what you value actually controls you. Do you love yourself enough to not give up on yourself and to continue to change? What will you be willing to fix in your life to add more value? Now, a lot of people are afraid to lose people in their life because they're thinking, hey, this person loves me. Let's be honest. Think for a moment. Do they love you or what you have to offer? That's where the value comes in at. People will manipulate you into thinking they love you. But remember, if you take the things that you're giving them back, you'll see if they really value you or the things that you were giving them. Even in sex and money. Most people value sex more than a person. And most people value money more than a person. If you take sex and money out the relationship, you will see what it's really based on. Then you have to question your relationship. You even have friends who are toxic. Those friends will lead you into the bad directions. But you have to step back and say, I have to value myself more. You have to do that. You have the ability to change that. Society has deemed that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. True. But what do you deem beauty? Or what do you value? Do you see yourself when you look in the mirror as beautiful, as worthy, as valuable? Do you want happiness for yourself? So you have to program your mind the same way you program a cell phone. You're smarter than a cell phone. But people are dumbing themselves down and allowing the cell phones to be smarter than them. Guess what? They're doing it for money and sex also. Remember, if you keep meeting the same people over and over again with a different face, you have to say, you have to value yourself more. Think about it. Everything around you is your choice. The surroundings that you are in is your decision, even at a job. There's people who complain about their jobs every single day for 15, 20 years, but remain in the same job. It's up to you to change that. People get tired of the complaints. People get tired of repetitious things. The reason why relationships aren't lasting long now is because the value isn't there anymore. They may value the wedding more than they value the marriage. They may value the benefit of being married, but not the person. And let's be honest, most people only value things very quickly, and then they lose value. Because if you're in love with yourself or a person, you value them more. But if you just love them, it goes away quickly. Because you may see another person or something else that you love, and it takes over that. See, when you start to invest in yourself, you start to see that most people really only care about you when you have something to offer them. Let's be honest. You have to focus on yourself more and follow your dreams and maintain your happiness. Yes, it may take longer than you thought, but it's worth it. You have to take your life seriously and don't allow anything else in your life unless it can make you happy. Create a better you. Focus on you every day. Fall in love with your future because you are wealth. You are worthy. You are valuable. Some people know it, but will not give it to you because you don't give it to yourself. See, when you deprive yourself, people notice it and they take advantage of it. They're looking at you like, well, if you don't do it, I'm not going to do it either. And you can't blame them for what you do to yourself. What controls you once again is what you value. Your happiness, whether it's sex, money, materialistical things, when you place value on those things, they control you. You take care of it. The high value for yourself, that shows. You will start attracting high value people. And you're wondering why you get less than. You do it to yourself. This is the ownership you need to take for yourself. Most people will point fingers and blame other people for something that you need to do for yourself. See, this is your valuing, your ownership. You have to surrender to the thought of change. Surroundings can control you if you allow it because you have less value for yourself. But as long as you value yourself, you won't stay in those situations or surroundings very long. You'll see that they're toxic to you. And most people are dressed in fine clothing, dressed in the nice clothes, drive the nicest cars, some of the most toxic people. And they value materialistic things because you may value the same. That's why you allow them to treat you the way that they treat you. Because you value the wrong things. You'll start to see that we all love money, but it can control you in a bad manner. If you value money too much and people too less, you will see how your attitude begins to change. You will start allowing people with money to treat you any way that they want to treat you. It's because you value the money, not the person. And then you turn it around and blame it on them for treating you the way you allowed them to treat you. This is your responsibility. Now ask yourself, do you want to become the solution to your problems? Everything that's in front of you right now can be changed, but you have to be the solution. It's called valuing yourself. Every problem in your life is a decision that you made. When people cheat on you and you decide to stay, remember, that's a decision that you made. This is where you devalue yourself or you value yourself. It's totally up to you. When will you become the solution to your own problems? I'm Basil BK Knight, and I want to say thank you for listening. The Truth According to Who podcast Uncensored.